a list of my top 5 most inspirational Black women in sports.
Let's get ready to discover the artist in you. Oh yeah. Let's get creative with K. Alexander Creations. K. Alexander Creations. Create all day we can.
Hey everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome to the first K. Alexander Creations episode of Top 5. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about 5 inspirational women, all in different sports, who left or who are currently leaving their own mark in their sport and the world around them. These women are strong, fast, incredibly gifted and talented. They worked hard to get to where they are today and have achieved success at the highest levels. They are role models to people of all ages and genders, backgrounds and ethnicities, and are examples to everyone around the world that strength can be and is beautiful. They overcame, they conquered, they inspired. Here are my top 5. Also, if you think I left someone off the list who you think should be on it, please leave it in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's get to the coloring. This talented woman was born September 26, 1981 in Saginaw, Michigan, the youngest of 5 sisters. She started playing tennis at the early age of 3, training alongside her sister and being coached by her father. As she began to experience early success with tennis, her father relocated his family to Florida so that she could work alongside the best coaches. By 1995, she turned pro, and 2 years later was number 99 in the world rankings. The following year, after graduating high school, she got a $12 million shoe deal with Puma. In 1999, she beat her sister to get their family's first ever Grand Slam win, where she got the U.S. Open title, becoming the second African American woman to win the Grand Slam. This was only a taste of the seemingly endless success she would experience in this sport. She would go on to eventually reach the number 1 ranking in the sport and marking herself as one of the best to ever play. Unfortunately, life would send her some tough times. She would undergo knee surgery in 2003 and shortly after suffer the loss of one of her sisters. It went from bad to worse in 2011 when doctors found a blood clot in one of her lungs, forcing her to stay away from tennis for several months. After many procedures, many wondered if this meant she would be retiring from the sport. But she had other plans, because by 2012 she was back to her dominant self, winning her 5th Wimbledon singles title and first major title in 2 years. At the Olympic Games later that year, she took her first gold medal in women's singles, and the following day won her 4th Olympic gold medal in women's doubles with her sister. She's a 4-time Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year. She's the oldest player to reach the number 1 ranking at age 31, and she did it again at age 34 in 2016. She's the oldest player to hold all Grand Slam titles in singles and Olympic gold simultaneously. She formed her self-named foundation, which builds schools in Africa and gives educational opportunities to underprivileged kids. If you guessed the extraordinary Serena Williams, you are right. This inspirational woman was born December 30th in 1977 in Miami Beach, Florida. She was the daughter of world-acclaimed boxer Muhammad Ali. Growing up, she had a troubled childhood, which led to her spending time in a juvenile detention center. Fortunately, she would eventually get her act together, graduating from Santa Monica College with a business degree. She owned and was working at her nail salon when she was inspired to try boxing after watching a women's boxing match on TV. On October 8, 1999, at the age of 21, she made her boxing debut against April Fowler, knocking her out in 31 seconds in the first round. Over the next 8 years, she would create a spectacular boxing career for herself, defeating big names including Jackie Fraser-Lyde. She would go on to be named the super middleweight champion by the International Boxing Association, Women's International Boxing Association, and International Women's Boxing Federation in 2002. In 2004, she was the International Women's Boxing Federation light heavyweight champion. Her last fight would take place 3 years later, February 3rd, 2007, in Johannesburg, South Africa. She would face and knock out Gwendolyn O'Neill in the first round. With her last fight, she finished her career undefeated with a perfect 24-0 record, 21 of which were knockouts. She never lost in the ring. She truly excelled at her sport, and will always be remembered as one of the greatest female boxers. She would go on to write a book, release workout videos, and become a TV personality. If you guessed the one and only Layla Ali, you hit it right on the mark. This inspirational woman stands 6 foot 5 inches tall. She was born July 7th, 1972 in Gardenia, California. By the 7th grade, she was 6 feet tall, so she decided to try her hand at basketball. At Morningside High School in LA, she would lead her team to 2 state championships. She would later go on to play at the University of Southern California, where she set several Pac-10 conference records for points and rebounds. Her senior year, she was named the 1994 National Player of the Year. 2 years later, she would play with the U.S. Olympic team until 2008, earning gold medals in 2 World Championships and 4 Olympic Games. In 1997, she signed a contract to play for the Los Angeles Sparks in the WNBA. She would end up having a playing career of 12 years and ultimately becoming one of the greatest players to play the sport. In 2001, she made history as the first WNBA player to win the regular season MVP, the All-Star Game MVP, and the playoff MVP, all in the same season. She led the Sparks to back-to-back WNBA championships in 2001 and 2002. She is celebrated as the first woman to ever dunk in a WNBA game, which she did in 2002. When she retired from the game of basketball in 2009, she returned to the Sparks 2 years later as an investor, becoming one of the team's owners. In 2015, she was elected into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Not only did this woman have an outstanding playing career, she went on to be a mom, model, author, sports analyst, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur. If you guessed Lisa Leslie, you are correct. This inspiring woman was born September 10th, 1982 in Kansas City, Missouri. She was the 4th youngest of 6 children. Growing up, she had a less than favorable childhood as her mother's 4th husband was physically and emotionally abusive. To escape her life at home, she turned to dance, often performing routines at home for her family. Then she started taking ballet classes at the Boys and Girls Club she attended after one of her teachers recommended it. As she saw her dancing life bloom, her life at home continued to suffer. Her mother eventually divorced her husband, and her family was forced to move into a single-room hotel. Luckily, her mother allowed her to live with her teacher's family at the age of 13, which allowed her to continue pursuing ballet. Fame started to follow her in 1999 when she was named lead in the Debbie Allen production of The Chocolate Nutcracker. She also received a scholarship to attend the San Francisco Ballet Summer Program. Continued to pursue her career, she took classes at Lauritsen Ballet Center and the American Ballet Theater before joining the American Ballet Theater Studio Company in 2000. In 2001, she became part of its Corps de Ballet. By 2007, she became the 2nd African American to reach the rank of American Ballet Theater soloist. Along the way, she suffered many injuries that sidelined her, including a vertebrae fracture, where she was forced to wear a brace, and stress fractures in her left shin. But she persevered and was rewarded for her hard work and talents. In June 2015, she became the first African American woman to dance the starring role in an American Ballet Theater production of Swan Lake. Then on June 30th, she became the first ever African American performer to be appointed American Ballet Theater principal dancer in the company's 75-year history, fulfilling a lifelong dream. If you guessed Misty Copeland, you are spot on. This inspirational woman was a premature baby born June 23rd, 1940 in St. Bethlehem, Tennessee. She was the 2nd youngest of 22 children. At the age of 4, she contracted polio, causing her leg to twist abnormally, requiring her to wear a brace. The doctors told her she would never walk again, but her mother had faith. With her mother, she would travel to a hospital 50 miles away twice a week in order to get the treatment that she needed. After much physical therapy, she would overcome both the disease and her physical condition, being able to finally walk on her own without any assistance at the age of 12. She grew up in the segregated South, attending an all-black school. It was clear that she was gifted athletically as a superb runner. The Tennessee State University track coach, Ed Temple, noticed this and recruited her to train with his team while she was still in high school. At the age of 16, she qualified for the 1956 Olympic Games in Melbourne, Australia, and was the youngest member of the USA team. She won a bronze medal in the sprint relay event. After high school, she would attend TSU to study education and train for her next Olympics. At the 1960 Olympic Games held in Rome, Italy, she would set a world record of 11.3 seconds in the 100-meter dash in the semifinals, winning the final round with a time of 11.0. She broke the Olympic 200-meter dash record as well, with a time of 23.2 seconds in the semifinals before winning the final round with a time of 24 seconds. She was also part of the U.S. team that beat the world record in the 4x100-meter relay with 44.4 seconds in the semifinals before winning the finals in a time of 44.5 seconds. As a result of her fast running, she became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympic Games. Soon after her accomplishments on the field, she would retire from track at the age of 22. She would go on to be a teacher, a track coach, and a sports commentator on national television. She shared her story with the world in her autobiography in 1977. She would pass away November 12, 1994 in Tennessee, but she will always be remembered as the world's fastest woman during the 1960s. If you guessed Wilma Rudolph, you are correct. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you think I left somebody off the list who should be on it, please leave it in the comment section below. Or if you have an idea for a top 5 topic that you want me to draw next, let me know down below as well. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, never stop being creative. Deuces.